All right, I'm going to show you a drill here for basically strengthening the hip flexors in the extreme positions of lengthening and then fully shortening and coming into compression. Now, I'm going to do this using a wall, and it's possible to do this in the middle of a room, but keep in mind, while you're doing this, you can have one leg moving back and forth, and you're basically going to be concentrating all your weight on one foot. So you're going to be balancing more or less. And if you do this in the middle of the room and you're not that stable on one leg, you're going to be fighting for your position and not really getting the benefit out of this that you're trying to focus on, keep in mind. So I do recommend using this. It does carry over after a while once you are balancing on one foot over time. Now, one thing you absolutely need is basically for whatever type of floor you're on, you need something to slide your foot to get rid of the friction. So you can just slide that foot back and it's not just sticking on the floor. It doesn't have to be completely slick, but I've got a hard floor here. This is a furniture slider with a little bit of felt on the bottom. And if you're on a carpet, you can use like a plastic plate or paper plate or something, but be inventive. See what you need to do to actually be able to slide a foot without a whole lot of friction. I'm going to show two versions of these exercises, and one is just going to be basically using the slider and body weight. And then the second version, I'm going to show you using an ankle weight, and that's for the compression component, which is you're going to be standing, trying to press your knee up toward the ceiling, lift up high. And after you've done this sort of thing for a while, you're going to need more of a challenge. So I'm going to put an ankle weight on that lifted leg, and it's not really so much there for the lunge. But yeah, so I'll go ahead and get this started. Okay, so to begin, you're going to set this up and take this through two things. One's going to be a long lunge and then standing and coming into the compression. All right, so you get to the drill. Basically, stand at a wall, and you're going to have one foot sliding, one foot's your base. My left foot's outside the wall, my right shoulder's closest, and I'm going to slide the right foot. Let your hand trace the wall so you don't lose your balance. And the other hand, just bring it to your hip. Now from here, I'm just going to go ahead and slide this back. I'm just coming to a deep lunge. So I'm keeping the heel lifted behind me, keeping the hips squared. I'm going to take this as low and as far back with that foot as I can and still try to keep the torso upright to find that stretch in the front of the pelvis on the back leg side. And then pull back in, resting on the wall as little as possible. And I recommend taking this back and forth 3 to 5 times. And then come back up. You don't necessarily have to go as deep as I'm going here. I've done this plenty, keep in mind. And you do increase your range quite a bit over time. That's 3. And just take it slow. Keep your hips squared so that back leg, pull the hip forward so it stays in line. And this is the 5th one. Now I'm going to take this back and bring this down as low as I can. Try to keep my spine tall. Pull the hip forward. Keep the knee hovering above the floor. And then to take this a little bit extra effort, I'm going to pulse the knee. So from here, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then press into the base foot and pull the knee forward. All right, so for this drill, we're going to go back and forth. And first, I'm going to come into a deep lunge, sliding one foot back with one hand on the wall. And just be sure your hand slides. You don't want to lean into the wall and let it take too much weight. It's just there to keep you stable. Your base foot just stays in place. And then after that, we're going to come to an explosive knee raise to work the compression. So from here, right hand on the wall, right shoulder closest, left foot's the base. Toes of the right foot are on the slider. And just bring your left hand to your hip. Keep your hip squared. Keep the right hip pulled forward so it's staying more or less in line with the left. And then just slide the foot back, keep the heel lifted. And as you sink down, keep your torso upright, squeeze your glutes and pull that hip forward. Come down as low as you're able to control. And then pull back in and come back up. I'm going to do that 4 more times. And just take it slow. It doesn't have to be excruciatingly slow, but you don't want to just zip through this here. And then pull back in. And don't worry about taking it quite as deep as I do here. I've been doing this for a while. And then that's 3. And then again, come back, try to take a little bit deeper each time. Once you come to the extreme, hover the knee, squeeze the glutes on that side, and pull the foot forward. Now that's 4. And then 1 more time. Now this time, slide it back as far as you can. Keep the hips squared, keep the knee hovering. Squeeze the glutes, keep your torso upright, and then you're going to pulse into that knee, just lightly bouncing up and down. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then pull back in and come back to standing. Now from here, you're still going to use that left foot as base, keep the right hand on the wall. Step the right foot back, and this is the explosive knee raise. So this is going to be the opposite movement here. Start with your foot back so you can keep the front of the hip lengthened as much as possible. And then as fast as possible on the way up, and just smooth on the way down. So from here, put a little bend in the left knee, and then bring the right knee up high for 1, come back down, 2, come back down, 3, come back down, 4, come back down, 5, come back down, 6, come back down, 7, come back down, 8, come back down, 9, come back down, and 10, stay up. And take hold of the knee with your left hand, pull it in closer. Try to get the thigh in as close to your belly as you can. Point the toes down, just hold here. And try to keep that contact, belly against your thigh, but release your grip and hold. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, for the other side, this time, left shoulder close to the wall, left hand's gonna trace the wall, right foot's the base, toes, left foot on the slider, right hand on the hip. And again, keep the hips squared. So from here, just let the leg go back, bring the knee down low, squeeze the glutes on the left side, pull back in, and come all the way upright. Again, sink this down, keep your torso upright, keep your hips squared. Squeeze the glutes on the left, pull that hip forward. And then come back up, that's 2. Sink down low, keep your spine tall, just keep the pace steady. Squeeze the glutes and pull back in, that's 3. Again, sink back down, let the foot go back. And then pull back in, and that's 4. One more time, slide the foot back, keep your hips squared, keep your torso upright best you can. Take the knee down low, hold, squeeze the glutes, keep the hip pressed forward. And I'm going to pulse the knee again. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pull back in. All the way to vertical. And you can shake your leg out between. And then from here, for that explosive knee raise, right foot's still the base. Keep a little bend on the right knee. Left foot back. And start with the toes back so the hip flexors are lengthened out to start. And then here again, explosive on the way up. Smooth on the way down. So go ahead, bring the knee up for 1, come back down, up to 2, come back down, up to 3, come back down, up for 4, come back down, up for 5, come back down, up for 6, come back down, up for 7, come back down, up for 8, come back down, up to 9, come back down, up to 10, and hold. Right hand to left knee, pull it in closer, and try to bring that thigh in as close to touching your belly as you can. Keep things pulled in tight. Keep the tension, and release your hand, hold. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release, shake your legs out. Okay, this is the weighted version of the hip flexor drill. And I've got an ankle weight on here, and when you're starting out with an ankle weight, get a lighter weight. Get something like 2 pounds, 5 pounds, something like that. 5 pounds is actually quite a bit. This is a little bit heavier than that, but I've been doing this for a while. But just take it from the level that actually works for you. You don't want something so heavy that you can barely lift your knee up off the floor. If you're only coming to this position when you usually bring it up another foot higher, take the weight down a little bit lower, but the extra challenge is going to help. And this isn't going to matter so much for the lunge, but I'm just going to keep the ankle weight on. So from here, just coming into that lunge here. So my right hand's on the wall, just going to trace the wall. Left foot's my base, left hand to left hip. I'm just going to let the right leg slide. Now from here, just 5 of these. So sink down, keep your hips squared, take the knee down as low as you can, squeeze your glutes on the right side, and then pull that right foot forward. And then again, slide back out. Try to take it a little bit deeper each time. Come down low, keep your torso upright, pull the hip forward, and come back up. And again, slide back, take it down low, keep your torso upright, and then pull the hip forward again. And then 2 more times. Slide it back, Bring yourself down low. Keep that right hip pulled forward. Keep the hips squared. And pull back in. One more time. Slide this back. And just make it smooth. Take it down deep. Hover the knee. Keep your torso upright. Squeeze the glutes on the side of the back leg. And then pulse. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And pull back in. Shake your leg out. This is where you feel the weight. So from here, right hand stays in the wall. Left hand to left hip. Keep a little bend in the left knee. And you're pushing the left foot down as you pull the right knee up as fast as you can. Right foot back to start. So you start with the hip flexor lengthen. And then from here, fast on the way up, smooth the way down. So bring it up for 1. Come back down. Up for 2. Come back down. Up for 3. Come back down. Up for 4. Come back down. Lift for 5. Come back down. Up for 6. Come back down. Lift for 7. Come back down. Lift for 8. Come back down. Lift for 9. Come back down. Lift for 10. Hold. And grab that knee with your left hand. Pull it in closer. And try to keep things pulled in tight. You want to try to bring the thigh toward the belly. Try to keep the leg in place. Release your grip. Hold. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. And you're definitely going to want to shake that out. All right, now the working leg is going to be the left leg here. This is the hip flexor that we're getting into. So my left hand's on the wall, right hand on my right hip, and the right leg is going to take all the weight. Now, left foot on the slider, and just take it slow. Slide your leg straight back. Keep your hips squared. Come down low. Keep your spine tall. Squeeze the glutes on the left. Pull back in, and come all the way up. Again, slide your foot back. See about taking this down a little bit deeper each time. Keep your spine tall. Left hip pulls forward. And then come back up the vertical. 3 more times. Slide the foot back. Take it down low, hover the knee above the floor. Pull back up and come back upright. 2 more times. Let the foot slide back. Take the knee down deep. And then pull back in and come all the way up. 1 more time. Bring it down low. Take it deep. Bring the knee down just above the floor. Hold here. Keep that hip pulling forward. Keep the glutes engaged on the left side. And stay tall through your spine. Pulse. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pull back in. Then shake your leg out. And then for the compression component here, so the right foot's still the base, left hand's still on the wall, right hand on the right hip. Put a little bend on the right knee so the right foot's pressing down as you lift the knee up. And then to step the foot back, start with the hip flexor lengthen on that side. And then from here, bring the knee up for 1. Come back down, up for 2. Come back down, up for 3. Come back down, up for 4. Come back down, up for 5. Come back down, up for 6. Come back down, up for 7. Come back down, up for 8. Come back down, up for 9. Come back down, up for 10. Hold. And take hold of the knee with the right hand. Draw the thigh in close, touch the thigh to your belly, or come as close as you can. Keep the leg here, but release the grip, and keep holding. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release.